Welcome back to part 2 of Basics of Financial Mathematics. In the previous video, we have learnt about simple interest and compound interest. We have also learned that what is the difference between simple interest and compound interest along with different terminologies. To find out compound interest, we have used simple interest formula only, that is P into T into R by 100. But that method is too tedious and it is quite long. So we have a direct formula to find out compound interest. Let's see today how we can find out compound interest by that formula. It is interesting to know that we can find out compound interest first of all by finding the amount. So amount here is given by A equal to P 1 plus R by 100 raised to power T, and compound interest can be calculated by subtracting P from your amount. Okay, so this is the formula which you have to remember to find out compound interest. Now if you want to directly apply compound interest formula, then your compound interest formula will be like this. If you put A equal to 1 plus R by 100 raised to power T minus P, then P I can take out common and I will be getting it as 1 plus R by 100 raised to power T minus 1. So this is the formula, direct formula to find out compound interest, where P is the original amount which you are borrowing or lending to somebody, R is the rate of interest at which you are giving the money, T is the time period. Now here, whenever you are calculating compound interest, time can be given you as annually, half yearly and quarterly. So when it is given annually, then you need not to change any of the values over here. If it is given 2 years, then you will be writing it 2. But when it is given half yearly, then you have to divide R by 2 and you will be doubling this time. That means whenever half yearly is given, then you will be reducing the rate of interest by 2 and you will be multiplying time with 2. Alright, like if it is to calculate compound interest half yearly, that means in a year we have 2 half years. That's why I have multiplied time with 2, alright, and rate with half. Whenever it is given quarterly, then you will be taking rate as R by 4 and time, for time you will be multiplying it with T, because there are 4 quarters in a year. That's why we will be doing these changes before applying in the formula. Now this formula is very important formula and it is used at many places. Like if you are given with different successive rate of interest, then this formula can also be applied like this. A equal to P. Let's suppose for the first year rate of interest is given R1. So I will be writing it as this for 1 year. Okay. So if I am not writing it 1, then also it is correct. Let's for second year, your rate of interest is given to you as something else. So you will be applying it like this. Let's suppose for third year it is given something different. So you will be applying the formula like this. Now this formula is also applied for finding out the present worth or present value. Alright, like if you want to find out the present or the final value of your scooter or of your any machine, then this amount will be considered as the final value and this principal will be considered as the present value. Rest of the things will come out to be same. One more thing children, if suppose there is a vehicle and whose value depreciates, then your rate of interest, if the word depreciate is coming, then this rate of interest will be negative over here. So in that case, if it is depreciating or decreasing, then you will be writing it as 1 minus R by 100. If it is increasing, then you will be writing it as it is 1 plus R by 100 raised to power T. So this formula can be used in many of the questions related to the like final value and present value. If you want to find out like successive rate of interest are given, then also you can use it. If it is directly given, find out the compound interest, then also you can use this formula. This formula can also be used to find out your loan amount when equal installments are paid for a certain period of time. So in that case, your formula will become like loan amount is equal to P, and let's suppose it is paid for 3 years. So it will be given by 100 by 100 plus R. Okay, let's see how I have changed this formula. Here it is 100 plus R. If I take the LCM, I get it as 100 plus R. So I have inverted the thing over here. So to find out your loan amount when you are paying equal installments, then the formula used, let's suppose the equal installment is paid for 3 years, then your formula will become P, which is your installment which you are paying 100 by 100 plus R plus 100 by 100 plus R. For second year you will be writing it as a square. For third year again you will be writing it as 100 plus R, because rate of interest is same for all the 3 years. So this will become your formula now. To find out loan amount in equal installments for 3 years is given by this. Just note down all these formulae and let's see how we can do the questions based on these formulae. Let's start with this question. It is given a sum of rupees this invested at 8%. So first of all, you extract out the things from it. A sum of rupees this is invested, that means this is your principal. So 25,000 is your principal. Rate of interest is given to you as 8%. 8% per annum compounded semi-annually. Semi-annually means half-yearly. So I told you whenever it is given half-yearly, you need to change the rate as 8 by 2. When it is half-yearly, you will be dividing it by 2. Alright. Amounts to rupees this much. That means the amount is given to you as rupees 28,121.60. Compute the time period of investment. We need to find out the time period. Alright. So these are the things which we know from the questions. Now we know the formula A equal to P 1 plus R by 100 raised to power T. We will be putting all the values here. So after putting the values, you will be getting the things like this. You can cancel it. Alright. So you are getting here as 28121.60. This you can take down. So this is 25123. And here you can take the LCM and you can write it as 26 by 25 raised to power T. Now you need to make this also as 26 by 25, because then only we can compare the values. So you just remove the point over here and try to make it in the form of 26 and 25. Make the numerator in multiples of 26 and here in multiples of 25. Then you will get it as, so this is what you are getting after simplification. Now you divide this by 26 to get it like what times of 26 this will be. So if you will multiply, you will find that this is 26 into 26 into 26 will give you this, and 25 into 25 into 25 will give you this. So this can be written as raised to power 3 equal to 26 by 25 raised to power T. Now the bases are same on both the sides, so I can compare them. So T is equal to 3. That means here compute the time period of investment. So the investment period is of 3 years. But then it is also given compound it semi-annually. Then you have to convert it into half-yearly. So time here it is given 3. That means this is 3 semi-annual installments. 3 semi-annual installment means how many years? 1.5 years. Alright, so either you can say 3 semi-annual installments and annual installments, or if you want to write it in yearly, then you can write 1.5 years. Have a look. Have a look to the solution of this question. In the next video, we are going to take some more questions based on the formula which we have learned today.